YouTube, what's up, man? Y'all miss me? Yo, what's up? It's your boy Penny. I just want to checking in. I've been busy, as y'all see, and I want to give a quick shout out to all of my loyal supporters. I posted a short or a reel on IG, and it also posts on Facebook as well as Threads. This particular short that I'm speaking about, or reel, it has between the three platforms, it's about to hit 2 million views. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. So where we at? So as you can see, passenger side of the vehicle is dull. You see the trunk though? Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So passenger side of the vehicle is dull. This is 3,000. I ended up going up to 3,000 grit. I'll show y'all in a minute what I used, some of the tools that I used, and some of the products. But I started with 1,000 wet on the block, went to 1,500 wet on the block. The reason I started with 1,000, I don't know, I tried to start with 1,500. It did work, but it was hard to cut. I was wasting too much paper to even get it to cut and remove orange peel. I want to say I waited about probably 3 or 4 days before I started. I think I may have said 48 hours before. I think it was like 3 or 4 days before I started sanding. So I tried to use 1,500 right off the rip. Wasn't getting any results fast enough. Was burning through paper. So I switched to 1,000. Was able to knock down all the nibs and the orange peel. And then I went up to 1,500 wet on a rigid block. And then from there, I went with 2,000 and 3,000 on a DA, and the pads are has like a little foam backing. So that was the process of getting it to where it is now, at least on this side. And then from there, I went straight into my extra heavy cut compound with the microfiber pad. I am using a dual action orbital, whatever you want to call it, polisher buffer. I don't have experience with a rotary. Last time I used one, I left a bunch of swirl marks, if y'all know what I mean, and it was on silver paint. So I felt to go safe this route. So real quick, let me show you the trunk. Now just keep in mind, this is just the cutting compound. This has not been polished yet. It's just been cut. So I still got 2 more steps. I know there's some debate about 1, 2, 3 steps. Do what you please, man. This is a fresh paint job. So at this point, I'm removing 3,000 grit, and then I'm moving on up. But it did a good job. As you can see, it's got gloss as compared to that. So it basically went from this to this with the 1 step on the rotary, or on the DA with the extra heavy cut compound. So let's go to the other side, because I actually did the complete driver's side from the quarter all the way to the fender. And I did half of the hood. Haven't touched the roof yet. So let's move over here. And like I say, you can see the reflection. It's not perfect yet because I still gotta polish it and wax it. But here's the complete driver's side in full gloss. It still got some I wouldn't say imperfections, but it still got some I guess you call them scratches or swirls from the microfiber pad. But hopefully those should come out when I do the next phase. So I'm gonna try to get in close. If you can see or you can see the reflection. I'm trying to see if you can see the metallic. I ain't gonna be able to get it to focus. So I have to use my phone for that. But you can see the reflection. You can also see it starting back to do its thing with the flip. So up here, so you can see the flip, see the gold, and now you can see I did half of the hood. So this took, I don't know, it took a few hours. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't quick. I know a rotary buffer will be faster, but like I said, I don't have much experience with that, and I wanted to make this as user-friendly as possible. So real quick, let me show you the sandpaper that I used. So I don't have any, I threw away the box for the 1,000, but so I went from 1,000 with these sheets to 1,500. And I used, hold on real quick. So I used this paper with this block right here. So 1,000 grit and 1,500 using this block to get the orange peel out with the 1000, smooth out those scratches with the 1500, and then I actually went to a 1500. This is a 6-inch. You can see this one doesn't have any cushion on it. It's just regular sandpaper. But I use that on the DA. I'll show you the DA in a minute. Most of it was done on DA after this phase. So 1500 on a DA up to a 2000 and then 3000. I bought some 4000, but I ended up stopping at 3 because it was silky smooth. So with the 1500 disc, I use this right here. So most of those videos y'all saw me with this red DA. This is the Bauer. It's a pretty old machine, but I didn't use this for any of the polishing. It probably would do fine with it, but I just didn't want to use it. So I did use this for sanding because I had ordered new machines and they came in after I finished. So use that for the 1500. After the 1500, when I went to 2000, I did not use that. I'm gonna show y'all what I used. So with the 1500 on the DA, I used this one right here. Little cordless joint. It's pretty good though. I mean, it goes up. It's got 6 speeds. I'll show y'all what it sounds like. It's actually really, really low vibration, but I like it. Listen. So that's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can hear it. It's got some good torque. So I use that. I used this when I went to the 2000, and I did use an interface pad somewhere over here. But also this paper or these discs, you see, it's got that little foam backing on it. So, and this is the grid. It doesn't even look like it looks like more like a sponge. But so I use this and this on that rotary that I just showed y'all. And when I say that's what the passenger side that I just showed y'all, that's what that is. From these two. So after that, that's when I started cutting, and I went with, where's my pad at? I went with a microfiber. Did I put it back in the bag? There's one. Oh, here's the interface pad. This is what I use with the sandpaper on the DA. It's not this one, but it looks like this. You can see I did sample that. I didn't like the way that one was moving or the way it was cutting. Hell, I don't know what I did with it. Hold up. It's in here somewhere, y'all. Hold on. Anyway, it looked like this, but it's a different brand. So I use this with this compound. I told somebody I'm using the off-the-shelf Meguiar's. Nothing. I mean, it says professional, but nothing. It's not the. I don't know. It says extra heavy cut, and it says to use it with the red cutting pad or, in my case, microfiber. But I use this machine right here, big boy, with the 5-inch backing plate. So I use that for all of my, what you see right here. I use this machine and I use this one, just a little bit smaller one, just to get in some of the tight areas, like right up in here along this top of the fender. I mean, I can lift the hood up and use the full one, but excuse me, I use it for that, the small one. The one I haven't done this yet, but I will use it for that. And then when I was doing this, I haven't done this edge, but when I did this piece right here, I did use the big one here, but then I came back. I need to wipe that off. I came back with the small one. So I'm just giving y'all a quick overview of what I used, because I have been getting a lot of messages about it. So figure I'd make a quick video, give y'all an update, show you, and tell you at the same time. So like I say, that's just the cut. Extra heavy cut compound on the big DA right here, 5-inch backing plate with the microfiber pad. So next, I will use the same machine. I'm going to use, where did it go? My yellow one. I'm going to use this yellow foam pad. And then I'm going to use my polish. I'm going to use this right here. See, it says use yellow, or you can use another. You can use another clean microfiber if you want. And I may try that because I have a whole pack of them. So, but I'm going to use this next. And then I may try a sample spot with this and a sample spot with this to see which one removes the scratches easier and faster. So that's step 2. And then after that, we're just waxing, right? So then I got this high-tech yellow wax. And then with this one, I'm going to use a black pad. That's the softest pad that I have is black. So you're basically just waxing it at this point. But when I apply this, I will use this machine. It's quick and fast. I don't have to worry about the cord. I've got a couple of batteries for it, so I'm not worried about any of that. Like I said, we're just going to be waxing at that point, so that machine should be sufficient for this. And then I also have, I'm going to get an actual ceramic coating, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just put some of this on there. After I apply this wax, and probably the next day I'll come back, once that's fully cured, I'll come back and put some of this on here. This is just some off the shelf that I had. I normally use this on my daily driver. It works really well with the water. It has really good hydrophobic characteristics, water beading off, whatever. So any dirt, any droppings on it shouldn't etch the paint. But car's in the garage. I did disconnect the door just so that if anybody comes in, the sprinkler sometime will hit the door. So the door will have water on it, or if it rains, and when you let the door up, the water drips on the car. So until I get a car cover, or at least until I get it waxed and ceramic coated, the door has been disconnected. So whenever I'm not in here, I turn it off so nobody can come in from the outside. So that's what I use to get it polished up to this stage. And really, it's not even polished; it's just compound, right? So somebody asked me what products that I use, what clear. So all of the paint products, with the exception of the pearl coat, is from Eurochem. Let me get the clear out and the base and the sealer. I'll show y'all here in a second. All right, well, this is pretty much my entire paint job in a nutshell, as they say. So I started right here. Primer sealer, it's black. I used that because I had some gray and black and silver and all kind of different colors on the paint or on the car. I wanted one uniform color, even though I was going with a black base coat. And I mentioned this before. When I did the jams and the underside of the hood and the trunk, all that was shot with just that sealer right there. I didn't use this base coat. I went from sealer to this right here, which is the pearl, and then clear. But when I got ready to do the outside, I wanted something that's going to have a little bit more metallic pop. So I went from the sealer to this. It's a black, what does that say? Silk base, black sparkle, metallic base coat. Eurochem. You can actually use this. The technical data sheet says that you can actually put hardener in it to give it more durability, but I don't see the point of that if you're going to put clear coat on top of it anyway. But so I just went base coat with reducer for that stage. You can put hardener in it. It says on the TD sheet, but I didn't. So primer sealer, black. We got this sparkle, black metallic base coat. And then, like I said, everything is Eurochem except for this next stage, which you see right here, that small quart. I think that's all I have left. Yeah, that's all I have left. And I only have 2 things to paint. I have the rear bumper cover and the fender extensions, which I should have painted already, but hopefully I can get them to come out similar or close enough. But that right there this is the pearl. Everybody keeps asking me what color, what's the color code? There is no color code. This is what it's called right here. And I got it from that company right there. Eye Candy. It's called Red Rum. This is 25 grams. This will do a gallon. This pearl, it's powder. This 25 grams, if I can get it to focus. This 25 grams is $170. So go figure if you want 2 gallons. I think I ended up with 2 gallons, so I bought 2 of these. So one of these go into a gallon to get your proper ratio. And then what you see right here, this is what I mixed it in. You can mix it in clear coat or inner coat. So this is House of Colors Transnebuli, which is basically a clear base coat or inner coat, whatever you want to call it. They call it Transnebuli. It's a base coat with no pigment in it. And it has something in there, they call it as a carrier. So this is actually, they call this a carrier base, but it has some type of chemical in it that allows the metallics or pearls or whatever you put in there to float. So when you spray it, it lays down and keeps some type of orientation. I don't know. It's all science. But that's what I use. So 2 gallons. I ain't gonna lie, I went through 2 gallons of that between the jams, the undersides, and what I just finished spraying. So that's quite a bit, because that quart, you can't buy it in a gallon. That House of Color quart is, depending on where you get it from, it's anywhere from $89 to $100. And I bought 8 of them. Yeah. Plus 2 of the pearl. So that's it. From the sealer, base, pearl coat, all the way up to this. So somebody asked me about the clear coat. This is what I used. High solids. This one mixes 2 to 1. It's pretty good clear from what I can tell so far. It sprayed nice. It laid nice. The only issue I had, and it had nothing to do with the paint, when I was spraying the car, the compressor had a leak, and I didn't know it at the time. I just thought it was fighting to keep up. So my gun kept dropping to like 20 something psi, and with the gun that I'm using, it is a LVLP. Although it takes less CFMs to run it, I do spray it at a higher psi at the gun. Let me show you the gun I'm using. Here's the compressor right here, but I found the leak. It was leaking from right here. I just need to figure out how to fix it, because I tightened this, and then it was still seeping out right there. So I'll probably take it off and check the fitting. I'm not sure what's in here. I don't know if it's a flare fitting or if it's one of those little compressor fittings. But here's the gun that I used. Let me grab it. I got 2 of them. So let's show y'all. So that's the gun that I used. There's the brand, or there's the model number, A610. And I got 2 guns because I used one primarily for primer and base, which is this one right here. This one has a 1.5 tip. I don't know if you can see that. And then this one is straight for clear. I only use this for clear. This one has a 1.3. Now, they did come with 3 tips each, but I just wanted to keep them clean. So that's why that one doesn't look as beat up as this one, because I've been using this one for 2K primer sealer. I use this for everything except that polyester primer that I've been using. I didn't use it for that. So these are the guns. These are LVLP. They don't require much CFM, but I had my regulator set on the gun at 30, and when I was spraying the clear, the pressure kept dropping, and then the clear was coming out. Wasn't atomizing as well as it was supposed to, and it was landing big droplets, and of course that's what created the orange peel. So after the first 2 coats is when I noticed. I knew it, but on the 3rd coat is when I went a little bit heavier to try to smooth it out. But the compressor, by that time of the day when I was shooting, it had been running all night, so it was pretty much tired. It wouldn't even build up pressure. I couldn't even get it to build up past 100 psi in the tank. So I was on the last 2 coats of clear, and I was struggle spraying. I ain't even gonna lie. So I knew when I got to the wet sanding stage, it was gonna be a lot of elbow work, and that's why it took me a week to sand this whole car. I will say the sides sanded easier than the top for some reason. So everything is sprayed, like I said, except for the rear bumper cover and the fender extensions. Here's some of the little pieces that I did spray after the fact. Got the rear spoiler, the rear piece that goes on the trunk, below the rear window. Or some of y'all say the rear windshield. My little marker light trims for the rear. Those have been painted. This is just a little speed shape that I bought so that I can have a reference of the color. And of course, here's the front bumper. Now, I'm debating on what exactly I'm going to do with this, the blackout on this bumper. I know I'm doing the grill. I am doing the grill, blacking it out. I'm debating on whether or not to do these headlight pockets. I think I am, but I don't know. It might look okay without it, because I've always said this. If you've got an SS and you paint it and you don't black that out, it's no longer an SS. It's kind of it is a joke. It's the same thing as people saying, if you take a Grand National and you LS swap it, they say now you just have a Buick Regal. Call it what you want. But I'll probably work on that this week. So I do have the paint. I'm going to use just this simple trim black right here. Y'all going to ask me what's the part number. There it is right there. They have this one, and then they have the Ultra. The Ultra has a little bit more gloss to it, more of a sheen, where this is more of a satin. So I use that paint on my AC box. So it looks like, it doesn't even look like it's paint. It just looks like black plastic. That's how that lays. So I'm going to use that paint on the bumper, the chin spoiler, and on the quarter glass. I'm going to scuff up the black trim around that with the red Scotch Brite, and then I'll give it a coat of paint with that. And I probably won't put clear coat on this simply because it's plastic and I don't want to spray, well, I don't know, because you should have some type of flex additive when you spray it on that flexible of a plastic. Same thing with this chin spoiler. But I'm going to spray the clear on this part just because I think this will have more exposure to the sun. I don't know, I think it probably all will. But the adhesive promoter and the flex additive that I have, it says that it's not recommended to use in clear coat. That's why I'm saying that. I can mix it in the clear coat and spray it on this plastic as well as these. Since this bumper is more rigid than plastic. I mean, flexible. The rear bumper is like a noodle, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm definitely gonna have to use it on that. But I'm not putting it in the clear. I put it in the and I did on this one. I put it in the sealer, the primer sealer, because it does have a hardener. So the technical data sheet says mix it in any paint or any coating that has an activator or a catalyst, except for clear. So usually your first layer with an activator or catalyst is going to be your primer sealer. So that's how I applied it on that bumper. So I'll probably do the same thing. Well, I will do the same thing on the rear bumper, but when I do the black stuff, I don't know, I'll figure something out. So that's where we at. Everything's painted except the bumper and the fender extensions. I need to finish polishing. So tonight, I'll be in here tonight. I'll probably drop a time lapse at the end of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the driver's or the passenger side, and then I'll do the other side of the hood, and then I'll knock out the roof. I'm gonna try to get that done by tonight. So then tomorrow I can start polishing. So we're gonna finish compounding, then we come back with the polish. And I already see some spots I'm gonna have to touch up before I move on. Actually, I still see some hazy up in here, and like I said, that's why I got that small one. That small one that I have, it comes with the 1 inch, 2 inch, and a 3 inch backing plate, and I've got pads so I can get, because you know that fender, it rolls like this. It's got like a convex. It's not flat, so I can angle the DA, but the DA doesn't really work well on an angle. If I had a rotary, I could knock that out, but with my small one, I can get in there real good. So I'll see that around some of the body lines. So I'm gonna touch those up with the compound, the cutting compound, before I move on to the other side. But that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified when I'm dropping the next video. If you're not already, check me out on Instagram and TikTok at PennyLS1. And I keep forgetting to tell y'all, I'm on Facebook. I do have 2 pages on Facebook. The main page is going to be my government name. And that's because that page is old and I've got a bunch of followers. So Irish Anthony, go to Facebook. You'll see some of these videos. So all you know, if you see miniskirt, you know that's me. Irish Anthony on Facebook. But I also do have Penny LS1 on Facebook. So check me out on all those platforms. And like I tell everybody that support me, I hit that it's at 1.9 million views now. Y'all want something from the store? Alright, y'all, let's go do it for this video. Until next time, y'all already know what it is. Penny LS1, holla at your boy.